This is Rob Butler with your Southland Report. While some administrators have rejected having college sports this fall if the general student body has not returned to campus after the COVID-19 shutdown, Houston Baptist University Athletic Director Steve Maniasi said HBU is uniquely placed to handle such alternatives, given its heavy reliance on online learning. Maniasi went on to say that HBU has tabled some planned upgrades for its 5,000-seat football stadium as it awaits word on when or if the fall sports season will begin. The athletic department has about 80 employees and 350 student-athletes. Its revenue and expenses in 2018 to 2019 totaled about $18 million each, including $6.6 million in scholarship aid. As is the case with many schools, HBU will close its academic year in good financial shape and has saved money on travel expenses in recent weeks because of the COVID-19 shutdown. Now, with so much uncertainty on the horizon, Sam Houston State Athletic Director Bobby Williams finds optimism where he can as the academic year ends and as the August 34th end to the fiscal year approaches. Football season ticket renewals, for example, are up 11% thus far, and the Sam Houston alumni base is pleased by the school's new branding campaign, which restores the popular Walking Sammy Bearcat logo that the school abandoned in the early 1980s. Williams is adjusting budgets for the remaining 4 months of this fiscal year to absorb the prospects of harder times when the 2020 to 2021 budget year begins. As is the case with most FCS schools, the school's $19.2 million budget for the 2019 calendar year depends on a significant infusion from student fees and direct institutional support, which totaled $13 million last year. The Texas State University system, which includes Sam Houston, said Friday that member schools plan to resume face-to-face instruction this fall. And that's Rob Butler, Open Mic Broadcast Network.
It's the radio guy, Mike Prince, and welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We are fortunate to have with us on the line, on the road as we speak, a very busy man, busy time of year, and that is Athletic Director of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, Bryan Hicks. How you doing today, sir?
It's been doing good. Thank you for having me on. Just moving down the road a little bit, but I'm glad to have the opportunity to speak with you. Hope all is well for you and yours.
Yes, sir. We are doing quite well, and same here. We appreciate you making and taking time out for us. The last time we talked, of course, there are a lot of uncertainties going on in the world of athletics, in particular that of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And you being in the position of athletic director, you guys are constantly meeting and upgrading, updating the latest and greatest information on what's going to be the next move. How are things as we speak now as far as football, and how is the budget looking for Bulldog Nation?
Well, when we think about football, one of the things, and I think I've mentioned this before, first things first, we have to secure the safety of our student athletes, and that's paramount. And so until that, we have some kind of ramifications to ensure the safety of our student athletes and their health and their well-being. Everything is pretty much full of uncertainty. So we're moving forward. We're looking at all kind of options, whether it's alternate scheduling and so on. We're finishing up the semester. Our students are finishing up the semester online, and so and they will be online throughout the summer. So we will take a look at it again and review and just see what the status of Weather America is. Hopefully we'll have some further information as it relates to the virus and how it's impacted. But first and foremost, paramount is the safety of our student athletes. Budget-wise, though, we're like I said, we're hanging in there, holding the road pretty tight. We are looking at a lot of cost-effective measures, preparing, strategizing, looking at other alternatives for as it relates to how to cut costs and just being fiscal responsible. So that's something we'll do normally, but with these uncertain times and this pandemic that we're going through, we have to be definitely more fiscal responsible going forward.
We're talking right now with Bryan Hicks, Athletic Director for the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. Now, Coach Hicks, I hope you don't mind me calling you Coach Hicks.
No, that's no problem at all.
Yes, sir.
No problem at all.
Now, Coach, when we talk about the uncertainties, we know that pretty much the reserves, whatever were there for this year, were kind of carried the way through. And we look across the country. As a matter of fact, recently, Fresno State, a FBS program, they're looking at potentially doing away with sports altogether. Others are taking furloughs, sending staff home, in particular from athletics. How close are we to coming to those type of drastic measures, at least on Bulldog Nation and even throughout the conference from you speaking to some of your comrades?
Well, I don't think we are really close. Obviously, with many of our football teams and throughout our league, they depend on guaranteed games, and as you know, the SWAC conference is the most attended for 42 of the last 43 seasons, the most attended football conference is there in the in FCS level. So obviously that's a significant impact. I think our league and our schools, we've always worked with less resources and less staff, and so I feel that we will be able to handle some aspects of it. It just all depends what dollar amounts and what are you looking at. But our intent is to continue to move forward and take a look at how do we do this under the new circumstances that we are. So it'll be new, but I'm comfortable and I'm confident that our schools are prepared to do what's necessary to still provide an opportunity for our student athletes as we move forward.
Yes, sir. Now, you recently had to make, I'm assuming, a tough leadership decision of relieving your baseball coach of duties. How challenging and awkward is that to find a replacement with the conditions of what we're faced with now with the coronavirus situation? Have you had to do some creative?
Yes. Yeah, that's been challenging because, me personally, I like to put my eyes on you, see your body language, see when I ask a question. And so we obviously been using Zoom meetings and been having a lot of dialogue, and it's different. But at the end of the day, it's important for us to find the best candidate for us, and we're in that process of finalizing, and hopefully we're going to, well, I know we're going to get the right candidate for it, but it is definitely different when you're just not physically in front of someone. But yes, well, so we stayed on the phone, we did Zoom meetings, and obviously a lot of follow-up and background information on those individuals. So been very busy. Never thought I'd be on Zoom this often.
Well, you got some people figuring out what Zoom is for the first time, so there is some good that's coming out of this. Now, when you go, are you close to releasing who your new baseball coach will be? Hello?
Okay, I'm here now. I can hear you now. What'd you say now?
I said, are you close to coming up with an announcement of who your new baseball coach will be?
Well, yeah, we're still going through the process, but we're very close. We only got to get through the first part of the season, and as you know, baseball is a spring sport, so we're working with our student athletes and talking with those. We were a relatively young team, and we're getting close and have a lot of interest, actually, So just moving forward.
Okay, you cut out when you said when you was just.
Oh, I said we're just trying to get the best fit for our program to move the program further.
Okay, well, we have an extremely keen interest in baseball here at the open mic. So I'm serious. I'm an old baseball player myself from Prairie.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
Baseball gets a little extra love from my network on this side of things. So as soon as you find it out, Coach, please
I'm going to give you a call.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have him on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That would be mostly appreciated. Now, with this going out, Coach, and I don't know if you know right off the top of your head, recruiting is definitely going to be changed. What was your recruiting budget prior to Corona, and how was it divvied up amongst your sports teams?
No, I don't have those numbers in front of me, but I would tell you that our recruiting budget is done where we identify those needs. The coaches get an opportunity to identify their needs and what they need, and we were able to do what we wanted to do. Going forward, we would have to take a look at some creative ways to recruit student athletes, and it will include, remote recruiting, virtual tours on the campus, which we are prepared to do, and just be able to sell and talk about our campus and let them see it, because there's no substitute from actually being there and being on top of that. But until that is corrected, we're stuck in a situation where we will be doing a lot more virtually. But typically, we've been able to do everything we need to do as it relates to our recruiting, and thankful for our administration, been very supportive of that. So we've been really excited. It's feeling kind of challenging. So I talk with our coaches now, and so they've just been on the line, on the phone, and doing virtual tours and doing Zoom meetings, trying to continue to outreach to future student athletes of Alabama A&M.
Yes, sir. Now, of course, with the hire of Coach Connell Maynor, the football program has been in an upward trend. And what is it like to have an addition of a Maynor to your athletic staff, and how does that pour over to your other coaches in the various departments?
Well, Coach Maynor has done a great job in his time here with us, and we've been very excited about not only what he's been able to bring to the football program, but his support to the other sports also. He has an experience, and he was a good fit for us around the clock. So we're excited about it. And, as you look at our coaching staff, you notice we're a young coaching staff, and we want to be sure. That's one of the things I want. I want to give opportunity to those who otherwise might not have had an opportunity. They were great assistants somewhere, or, they were just one step away from get it. And we just had an outstanding group of young coaches. Our softball coach, Miss Cassandra Brown, she was the SWAC Coach of the Year last year. Our women's basketball coach, Margaret Richards, who had an outstanding women's basketball this year. We're really looking forward to the tournament. Our team really turned it around, had a 12-win season, so we're excited about that. And, of course, Rose Powell in volleyball, and we've won the regular season in volleyball the last 2 years. We've lost in the tournament in 1 year to the school up the street, and then last
that was hard to say. That was hard to admit, Coach.
Listen, I can't even get the name out, but I just know they're a little further up. So I don't know as far as location. But we were really excited. Man, we're really excited about our program, our coaches, and the student athletes we got, man. Man, this Bulldog era is back, and we're excited, and we're waiting for this virus to be absent, and so we can get back to business and to the building of our programs.
We're talking right now with Bryan Hicks, Athletic Director of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, talking about Bulldog fever has returned to the Hill. They call it the Hill in Huntsville, just like they call it the Hill at Prairie View. And, there's a battle of which Hill is the real Hill, but we won't get into that one right now. Okay, but when you talk about the resurgency of what athletics does for an institution, it feels good to be in that position of athletic director's position to see the sports be rejuvenated, is it not?
Oh, most definitely. I grew up, if you could throw it, kick it, toss it, whatever. Sports has been a lot to me in my career, and to do it back into my hometown where I grew up, it's real good. It's a great feeling. Now, you share the lumps with it. It's not always good, but I understand the passion and the commitment. And guess what? I have that same passion and commitment So I get up each and every day thanking God for this opportunity that's been given to me and give my best foot going forward, man. And so it's been a real true blessing, and to see the program, the energy that it brings, not only to the fans and in the community, but just giving student athletes who might not have continued their career in a sport that they love, and for them to put them on the biggest stage as possible. That's what we try to do. And yes, we want to compete in our league, but I want our student athletes to have an opportunity to see, let them see they're just as good as any other athlete that they see, whether it's on TV or they might have heard about, providing them that opportunity and that experience. And they said, man, they put their shoes on just like I do. Man, this is what I bring to the table. So that's what we encourage. That's what we talk to them about and understanding. And that's the experience that we try to give them. One might be a little bigger, but, man, nothing's going to be any stronger than what we do. So we're excited, and we're going for it.
Yes, sir. Now, true leadership speaks when you're dealing with adversity and hardship, and it's no secret that the athletic program had to somewhat resurrect itself coming back, and that's the hard part. Now that it seems that the Bulldog train is back on course, now you're faced with a whole new venture in that of the coronavirus. With that being said, what did you learn from coming back from the rough patches that you had to deal with, now facing this pandemic, and how do you use that to fuel you for life down the road?
Well, you know what? I've never been a quitter in nothing I did in no part of my life. So that was never no issue. I understood that the measure of man is not from the times of comfort and convenience. I understood that. And I've learned that at a young age. So I talk to my student athletes. It's easy to pat you on the back when you win every game and everything's success. But when you go through those difficult times, that's when you're going to have to learn to stand up and be measured as a man. Let your character, let your ability, let your personality be the same even in those times. It's tough. It's not easy. But, man, we got a lot to be thankful for no matter what is going on. So you take it one day at a time, and you give it your best each and every day, and you'll never be sorry for anything or be disappointed in anything that has happened in the past. You got to put that in the rearview mirror and keep moving forward. So if nothing else, this is always just another step for us to take. I always talk about Rome wasn't built in a day, and so we are building. We're getting better. You see the progress. You see the energy, the enthusiasm, and we've never lacked. We've never lacked for just having the ability, just putting us on the right track and just having vision going forward and putting a goal out there to go get. And that's what we're doing. So when we go through this pandemic as we're going through, we understand it. We're going to take it serious. We're going to be responsible. We're going to take every measure for safety because that's the first thing first. We love sports just like anyone else, but safety and our well-being is far more paramount than anything. So I talk to our athletes about that. Hey, while you're at home, I want you to get better, I want you to get stronger, I want you to get faster, not because of the sport, because that's what you like to do, but I need you to make sure you're healthy and you're staying safe, you're being responsible, you're listening to the advice of not only your parents and your family, but what the doctors are saying, what the community is saying. So it's a growing process, and I think our student athletes are learning it. It's tough. Today's society is a microwave society, man. You got to have it now. So I'm one of them old dogs that's just like, hey, if I can't get it now, I'm going to go get it.
I know that's right, Coach. And when you speak about the tough times and what lies ahead, we know that it's a challenge when we're dealing with HBCUs giving back. I won't call it a pandemic, but it's an epidemic across HBCU nation, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So what are some of the creative things that you've been working up with this quote unquote downtime to try to offset the form of giving and how to create some unique ways of getting people to give back into the program and back to the university as a whole?
Well, it's interesting you're doing that. I'm driving down the road we have this giving program that we're doing on social media, and so I'm going to do my little stunt on that as we speak. But through social media, through communication with former student athletes, and just really putting our hands and let them know the plight of what we're doing. We got to reach them when we can't see them sometimes, and just let them know and sharing the experience. You go to our website. We got to tell the story again, the story that's been told, and we all have been fortunate of the historical perspectives of that. But to move it forward, we got to give a little bit more. We got to give and be more in tune with what today's student athlete. It can't be the same as it was yesterday. It's a new year, so those comes with different challenges. So communicating what those challenges are and really trying to be in the forefront and let them know this is what it takes, and just sharing those experiences our student athletes are going through now. And I think that will help us. It's not going to save the day right away, but being communicative, providing opportunities to and mechanisms to it, whether it's online, whether it's through other forms of giving, making sure those things are available, and talking about them and let them know this is where it is. I was fortunate to be at other institutions, and I saw where they've been able to do different things, and obviously corporately and with the fan base and alums. So we got to continue to do that and understand that for us to be great, everyone's going to have to support it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Support globally across the board. Well, look, I am going to be a good steward of your time because I truly appreciate you taking time out as you're traveling down the road to giving us some time for the day. And you got to promise that we're going to be able to keep this conversation rolling, especially when you get your new baseball coach. Is that all right?
We're going to make that happen. We're going to make that happen right away, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach, or should I say athletic director, Bryan Hicks of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. And, Coach, we have a custom where we give our guests the final thoughts and comments, and the floor is now yours.
Well, thank you, Mike. I really appreciate it, again, being able to come on. And, I just pray that each and every one remember what's the big picture, for us to be safe and continue to care about our well-being and understand that you got to give to others. It's more profitable to give to others, and be sure to do that. And whatever that deed is, whether it's financial, whether it's just a word, but let's be positive, understanding that tough times are always around the corner. Just stay positive and give your best effort each and every day, one day at a time.
All right, sir. Very well said. He is athletic director of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, none other than Bryan Hicks. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget our social media handles for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. And our 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.